Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Says these are double acting spring hinge. These hinges do not appear to have springs in them.
What would make you say that? This is a Bommer 3029-5. What would make you say they don't have springs?
Well, the hinges that we're replacing close themselves automatically, and I'm wondering why these new ones don't. Let me see something here. Oh, I see. There's a tension rod. What is this tension rod?
Have you read the instructions?
No, I'm just looking at them now.
Okay. So, yeah, the instructions are always a good place to start. When those hinges ship, the tension is not set on the springs, and the tension pins and the tension rod is how you go about doing that.
I don't see a tension pin. Hang on. Oh, I see. So, I've not installed these hinges before. I've never seen these types of hinges before. Let's see. So, tension rod. Okay. Okay. I can probably figure it out from this point. I didn't see these instructions in here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to walk through them with you, obviously, but it's just going to be looking at it together. You know, it's step one, step two kind of stuff.
Right. So I see that there appears, now that I've got this one installed, there appears to be I guess the top edge of these is the one with the holes around it, I guess.
That's called the tension collar, and that doesn't have to be the top, but it typically is, but it isn't always.
I see. So I'm going to have to remove this hinge and adjust the tension in it then. Okay. I wasn't aware that this needed to be done. So, all right. I will, I guess.
If there was tension set already on the hinge, you'd never be able to get it installed. So that's why they ship it without tension set. Oh,
I see. So after you install it, is that when you do the tension adjustment? Is that kind of how this goes?
It's the only way it can go, sure, because you would never be able to get the leaves open to attach the screws to the jamb and to the edge of the door.
I see. Okay. All right. I can probably, I guess, figure it out from here. I don't need to keep you on the phone for that. Yeah. Thanks for the help there, and I'll give you a call back if I need anything else.
Please do. My name is Richard.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Order number again if you need it.
No, the 3029-5.
Yeah. So I am about half done here. I've installed, they have two double doors, and they both swing both ways. So the first set of doors, I'm just installing them the way the previous ones that we're replacing were installed, okay? The right side door had the, I guess, tensioner or tension adjustment on the top end, and that's how I've installed these other ones. I just got them mortised in and everything like that. The other ones weren't mortised, so that took a minute. On the left side, they have them with the top hinge tensioner down and bottom hinge tensioner up. I haven't figured out how to get these tensioners to work yet, but I was going to, call you about that. I may as well talk to you about that now.
So what's the first
it's
question?
basically, so there's two questions. One is, why is, in the instructions it says that on the opposite door, like one door should have the tensioner side up, the other one should have the tensioner side down. That's not how the previous ones were installed. So that's the first thing. I'm wondering what
previous installation may be correct for whosever hinge that is, but not for Bomber. So tension collars up on one door and down on the other. And the only purpose is because it helps align the doors better when they're in closed position.
Oh, I see. Okay. That being the case, let me take a look at these hinges, because that might mean that I have to mortise the jamb versus the door like I did on the other side.
Why would you be mortising the jamb with this hinge?
Oh, let me turn this upside down and... Okay, so no, that is on the door side. Let me look at the other one. There. This wraps around the door. Okay, so if I have it upside down, there's the tensioner side up. Oh, I see why they did it. That way. See, the other ones weren't mortised at all. That's kind of the main thing I'm running into here.
Those
So in order
hinges can be mortised or surface mounted to the edge. It's an option in the installation instructions or the template.
Yeah. Well, the way they have their setup, and whoever I originally ordered these from said that the original ones weren't installed correctly or to spec or something like that, but they work. So just was trying to install them the exact way they had them before.
Well, what I said was they may have been installed correct for what they were, but if they were Bomber, then they're not installed correct.
Right, I get that. So here's the main question, because I can probably figure that part out. The main issue is this tensioner. When I look at the old hinges here, they have this tension pin that was installed in whatever hole, and I guess you rotate the. Is this rotated before they're installed or after?
Well, after the hinge is attached to the jamb and the door is in the opening and the hinge leaf to the door is attached to the door, and you've got the doors in the jamb, in the closed position, shimmed up from the floor, that's when you apply set tension on the springs.
Right. So, for whatever reason, the tension pin, or whatever you call that, doesn't seem to align where it'll stay in place. Like after I try to apply the tension to it, it's not staying in place. Like it doesn't add any tension to it, is what I'm getting at.
Are you rotating the tension rod in the proper direction?
Yeah.
So what direction are you rotating it in?
So the one on the door itself appears to be rotated according to the directions. This one is rotated on the jamb. If you have the instructions there.
I've been selling these for over 30 years. I've got those things memorized.
Okay. The tension pin, I installed that in the furthest left hole, and then I take the rod.
Yeah, that's the first problem. So there's an arrow etched on the barrel. So whether the collar is up or down, if it's up, you rotate it clockwise. If it's down, it's counterclockwise. You have to put the pin near the back of the hinge. So the part of the circumference of the tension collar that's closest to the cased opening frame, when you turn the tension rod in the direction of the arrow, you install it as close to the jam as possible. It sounds like when you say to the left, you're installing it from the furthest point away.
Okay. So while I have you on the phone, I'm looking at I have the door open, all right? All these are installed, or at least the stickers.
The door has to be in the closed position.
Okay. These pins back out. All right, so I have the door closed. I am plumbing this up. All right, so it is now plumb. So I'm looking at the top of the door. I have the one arrow on the rightmost barrel, I guess you'd call it. That arrow is facing to the left, okay? And that side is connected to the jam. The other side, I can't tell where the arrow's going. Well, I guess let's start with that side, because if I can get that one, then I can figure the other one out. So the tension pin, does that go to the rear of the arrow on that side or to the point of the arrow?
The rear.
The rear? Okay.
Which is that the opposite of how you did it the first time?
I honestly don't remember. I tried it a couple different ways. And I can't even get it back in there. Let's see. Okay. All right. So it's basically on the opposite side of where the arrow is, inscribed. That's the only place I can get it to fit in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay. So now I can't get this to tension up. It won't move. The barrel doesn't move.
So when you insert a tension rod, you're not able to rotate it in the direction of the arrow?
Right. That's what I'm getting
all
at.
Of them like that?
That's what I've been running into, and that's why I'm confused with this whole thing, because it doesn't seem to fit properly. Like it's like the pin is too big or something. Now, when I look at the old ones,
There's two ends to the pin. One side fits into the tension collar, the other won't.
okay, maybe that's the issue. So there's only one. Okay, I kind of see what the issue is now, I think. No, I don't see it, because all of these are the same size. All of these holes are the same size. It's like this pin is just too big for the gap between the barrel and the I guess leaf or this flange or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like the other ones, they seem to wedge in there, and this one doesn't. It's like it's a different hinge entirely or something. I don't know.
Could be. I'm not familiar with your existing hinge.
The existing ones, from what they told, and I called Bomber to get these, and they told me you guys had them. And they gave me the model number and everything. These other ones are chrome, but that's the only difference, it looks like. Seems like I have to turn this first before I put the pin in it. Is that kind of how this goes?
You most definitely have to insert the tension rod. You've got to turn it in the direction of the arrow, and as you do so, you reveal new additional holes, and it's into one of those new holes that you'll insert the tension pin into, and that will keep the spring, and you repeat that process until you get the proper amount of tension set.
I gotcha. Okay, that's where I was going wrong.
That's all in step 1 of the installation instructions.
All right.
I mean, I'm glad we're on the phone, but you know.
Well, all right. Let me see if this works.
You want to be careful not to rotate it in the wrong direction. You don't want the spring to slip out of where it's supposed to be seated or caught.
Mm-hmm. I see how this works now. Okay. That's where I was putting the pin in first and then rotating it. I thought it would lock or something. I don't know what I was thinking it was supposed to do. I haven't installed these before. I've never even seen these before this store.
Where are you located?
I'm in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Boy, I would think Pittsburgh's got a ton of these hinges. An older city like Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Detroit, full of this stuff.
No.
Well, you'll be an expert after this.
Yeah, maybe. Well, if I can get this one done, I get the other one done. I'm already here an hour past when I thought I was going to be here, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I see what's happening with that. So, yeah, that's probably what I needed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and I'm happy to read the instructions to you, but you need to look at them because it tells you some stuff that's really important, such as don't exceed 5 holes of tension. If you do so, you might snap the spring, you know, 1 collar up, 1 collar down, that sort of business, and it shows you how to turn that stuff. And I don't want you to do something to the hinge that renders it unusable, and this is a discontinued product and me not having more to send you.
Right.
could be an issue. So just, you know, dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah. It was just I was inserting this thing out of sequence. That's all. I see what happened.
Yeah. You got to crank it first, drop the pin in, ratchet it over, so to speak, 1 more hole until you get the proper sort of. And when you start swinging the doors, do so carefully, slowly. Don't open it to 90 and let her rip. You know, do it slow.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I thank you for the help. I think I got this from here, and yeah, I think we're good.
Roger that, sir. Thanks for calling.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.